There are many different ways that a parent can raise their child, and there are many different outcomes that a child can enter based on the way that their parent raised them. There are four main types of parenting. There's authoritative, which has high demandingness and high responsiveness. There is authoritarian with high demandingness with low response. There is permissive with low demandingness and high response. And there is neglectful, low demandingness and low response. Ethnic and cultural trends also play a role in the outcomes of children, both academically and psychologically. Authoritative parenting is superior to the other methods because it tends to foster higher academic results with the least amount of negative psychological outcomes. These This parenting style is characterized by high levels of demandingness and high levels of responsiveness. This involves high levels of nurturance, involvement, sensitivity, reasoning, and encouragement of autonomy. Associations with authoritative parenting and academic achievement were stronger in non Hispanic white families than in families of Asian and American backgrounds. From experience, my parents are authoritative, and I'd say that I personally go have ended up decent. Like, I don't have very much psychological issues, and academically, I'm doing pretty good. But there's authoritarian parenting, which is characterized by high levels of demandingness and low levels of responsiveness. The low level of responsiveness, meaning that there's less rewards and there's less, feedback, can tend to more psychological issues, feeling like not going to be enough, like issues with self-esteem and other behavioral issues. These parents exhibit highly directed behaviors, very strict parents, and very power asserting behaviors, meaning it's like this way or this way, like it's my way or my way. And authoritarian parenting is associated with more internalizing and externalizing problems and poor academic performance of non Hispanic, white, and Asian children for Hispanic Latino children, as an association was only found with regard to internalizing and externalizing problems. No significant associations of authoritarian parenting with the three child outcomes were observed in children with an African ethnic background, implying that when parents exhibit this parenting style, few negative outcomes are observed. Now, permissive parenting is a little bit more towards the lenient side of the type of parents that let their kid just sort of do whatever they want, but they sort of still keep in touch with them, like they sort of still care. There's low levels of demandingness. They don't really ask much of the kid, just sort of like, take care of your grades, do whatever you need to do, don't die, don't get arrested, that type of thing. It's very general. And they give high levels of responsiveness. They give them allowance, they give them money to go to the mall, get food, whatever they need to do in order, because they want their kid to be happy and get what they want, right? They spoil their kid. These parents exhibit a lot of non-controlling behaviors and use very minimal punishment, just sort of the 5 minutes in the timeout thing, or the you don't get to play Xbox for 5 minutes or whatever. Yeah. Neglectful parenting is when the parents basically don't give two flips about the child in any possible way. These are characterized by low levels of demandingness and low levels of responsiveness. These parents lack involvement in making demands on their child and are not attentive to their child's needs. they're associated with negative outcomes and don't differ with ethnicity. These parents don't really care about their kid. They don't really do much for their kid. The kid's basically on their own. So in this case, a lot of neglectful parenting will result in a lot of children either growing up with a lot more independence and a lot more of self confidence, like self building and self reliance. And they don't really rely on anybody else because, growing up, they sort of had to rely on themselves because their parents didn't really do much for them. In conclusion, authoritative parenting is a superior style of parenting because it fosters the best results with the least amount of psychological issues amongst all ethnic groups.